Hey, this is MBT Sky. Today is the 20th, and this is the daily read. This is the last day in Pisces season. So, the month is still in its Jupiter energy, high frequency the Sun, medium frequency Mercury, and the low frequencies in 9. And the overall energy today for Pisces is the Moon energy. So, let's see what Jupiter is talking about in conjunction with some other planets. And Uranus. And Uranus is a discussion of what? It's a discussion of friends, social circles, things of that nature. So, Pisces, if you are dominant in your Jupiter, you got a little bit of dominance in your Uranus. The discussion is social circles and things of that nature. Pay attention. Do something creative within your social circles. Also, pay attention to your friends. Pay attention to your hopes, wishes, and desires amongst them. When you're dealing with the moon energy, you're dealing with home, family, environment, things like that. But also in tarot, you are dealing with, things that's not so clear all the time. So there may be today this, conversation, communication amongst friends, families, or social groups in regards to some things that maybe Pisces may not know clearly or may not want to be revealed. But let's see. Alright, let's see what the moon saying. Be bold and make the first move. A Cardinal Moon. I may post in the description when the next Cardinal Moon is, but we're going to get some more conversation on that. But we got this Sun that comes up in a higher frequency, and that means that things that may not be so very clear, illusions, delusions, fears, things of that nature with Pisces coming up in overall energy. So let's see what the Sun wants to clarify here. And it's definitely got something to do with communication and family outside of the social circle. That's why you got the Mercury up here. So let's see what's going on in the Sun. So you got the Six of Wands. That speaks of success. Ten of Coins speaks of generational health, wealth. But it also speaks of, being heartbroken. These are the things in the high frequency that's being made clear, Pisces. When you're dealing with this Sun Leo energy, you're still dealing with this creative, romantic kind of energy. You got the fire, the earth, and the air there. So there may be some thoughts that still come into place that you're learning to release that causes heartbreak. At the end of the day, you're still dealing with this generational health, wealth, and prosperity coming from generations to generations, and clear that success is very possible. Just pay attention to what's going on amongst your circles here and the things that you may not be seeing clearly, which we'll get into in a minute. So let's see what the communication and discussion is, and the mindset and the mentality is here in the middle frequency. So there goes the moon again. It's something that's that Pisces do not want to come out right now. There may be some Pisces here that really need to pay attention. Now in tarot, Pisces, the moon rules Pisces depending on what system you're using, right? What you have to understand is that there's choices that need to be made that you cannot make very clearly unless you are willing to go on a journey. Make your choices. Make sure you're not dealing with too much unclarity, especially when it comes to dealing with individuals that you are hanging around, which just is a discussion of the social circle. So pay attention, right? And pay attention to the fact that, there may be some differences, there may be some stagnations, there may be some need for you to pay attention to things that you are not seeing clearly, Pisces, and how you communicate and your mentality about it, and how you're dealing with this social circle. And whoever this is, this may be a Pisces that interact with people that have generational wealth, that are secretly very powerful and successful, and they may be a little bit braggish, right? But at the end of the day, there may be the letting go or the ending of a particular emotional situation that ends up getting sacrificed off, right? Or there's a difference. So let's look in this Scorpio energy, right? And let's see what's going on. So there goes the Wheel of Fortune. All right, and it's the Seven of Cups, right? and then this Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands came out in this position, I think, or Nine of Wands came out yesterday, if I remember correctly. So herefore, when we're dealing with the wheel, and you're dealing with it in the lower frequency, this is still a discussion of Jupiter's energy, right? It's a discussion of good fortune, wealth, health, stability, faith, belief, karmic cycles that take place. You got this Seven of Cups here, which talks about choices and sometimes confusion, delusion, illusion, and overindulgence, but also a battle and a fight that's taking place. This is coming down a lot of fire energy, right? So if we are dealing with the fact that we're dealing with Scorpio, this Pluto energy that talks about death, regenerations, rebirth, this is necessary. There's cycles of events that may cause a little bit of confusion, a little bit of cloudiness in thought, a little bit of overindulgence, a need to be guarded or feel like you have to guard. This may take place in this lower frequency, and it may cause some negative karmic cycles to take place, especially when people was getting out of control and they got their little coins and this, that, and third. And that's fine too. This is what Pisces, the moon, is going to be probably going to be discussing more so. This cycle, this karmic cycle that's going on here, that's causing confusion and causing fights and the battles and things of that nature. Now, if you're looking at this, we have three major arcanas sitting on a board, right? And so while we're looking at this, there's cycles of events that take place that can be very karmic, that may be very unknown and not all the way clear, and still have the ability to lead to success. The confusion, and if you are looking at this, and if you're moving into a higher vibration, right? Choices. What choices do you choose to make about your social circles and friends and finances and money? There may be some Pisces that feel a little bit super bougie, so they only want to be around the rich, the wealthy, right? And that's fine too. Some people that's just how some people are. This fight to change may cause some heartbreak also, but that's all right. So when you're looking at this going across, you see karmic cycles, the wheel, wealth, health, fortune amongst these three, but there's also some heartbreak involved. You see fights, arguments, battles that may take place in between with these three, but there's still going to be a little bit of success. But you still have these two major arcanas at the end, things that's not being made clear amongst these three right here that may create a change. Pisces, this may be very well what you're into right now. Stay out the lower frequencies. Don't try to push negative karma on people, cause confusion, overindulgence, unnecessary fights and battles, if that's the energy you're in. So let's see. What is the moon? Behold and make the first move. The Cardinal Moon. So let's see. There goes the sun. Choices, decisions, changes, balancing out, right? To get happiness, clarity, and be in this high frequency of the sun, right? Not being over blinded by success and money, right? To the point where, it ends to kind of like a heartbreak to a degree, or a need to detach. But this is going to be revealed to Pisces, the need to change, bring balance, come in a happy, harmonious kind of energy, and yet not be blinded by it. So let's see what else comes up. The Nine of Cups, right? Happiness, stability, success, sometimes a little bit spoiled, right? Sometimes a little bit appreciative, but this is what's going to be revealed under this energy of Pisces and the moon. What's being pushed to change, what's supposed to be made clear. Where's the happiness? Are you negatively affecting somebody in the lower vibration, Pisces, in secret amongst other people, to make other people not want to interact with particular individuals? Are you doing that? This is things that you have to think about. Or are you in your high frequency and you making it clear that you're working, you're going to be successful, people are going to support your success, you want to create generational wealth and health and stability, and you're willing to let go of, little sour situations as far as heartbreaks and things of that nature. What are you into? And that's what the moon is going to reveal. And this is where this balance and change the balancing act has to come out. And if if the balancing act is coming out, you will get this sun, and things will become very clear especially when it comes to, romance, relationships, and stuff like that, if you like the astrology, right? And happiness. Is that what you pushing in secret? Is that the energy that you pushing out in secret? Or is this going to be a opposing effect in this Lord? That's just on you, how you want to move your vibration, Pisces. But this is the last day of Pisces. Pay attention to the Cardinal Moon. I will try to remember to post the description for the next Cardinal Moon. Pay attention to what you're trying to make clear. Is success what's really making you happy? Is it generational wealth really making you happy? Are you really allowing old things that bother you or bothered you, or you had to separate? Are you letting that go, right? And a medium frequency, what are you communicating in secret to these three individuals, right? To these family members, these siblings, things of that nature. Because when you're talking about Mercury, this is even at work. Mercury is a discussion of Gemini in Virgo energy, and that even talks about work, profession, your occupation, right? It also talks about mentality and things of that nature. So what are you discussing amongst these three, and what are you trying to create the change? Like, what's going on here? And then this row right here is very interesting. So let me throw this over these three, because it could involve a Pisces and three other individuals also doing things in secret, communicating and discussing things in secret. That's causing this change to take place. But it doesn't necessarily have to be bad. So let's see. Especially if they're going into the medium frequency into their high frequencies, right? The Seven of Swords. Sneaky, conniving, thievery, self-sabotaging behavior that's taking place. So these three individuals, this group of three, these friends, whatever, they may get together and do some things that they may feel is going to sabotage an individual, or they may end up sabotaging themselves without even realizing it, and putting themselves out there in a stagnated point or position without even realizing it. And this is where this heartbreak is going to come from, because this is a cycle of events that may take place. Now, meanwhile, back at the ranch, right, this is something that these three may have done quite often. This group of individuals may have done. Pisces may be involved in it, or Pisces may be the one who has to kind of rebalance out and find happiness from it, But at the end of the day, a lot of this individual success is from, doing shady stuff to people, right? And always having to keep a guard up, because that's how they move. Period. And this is in Pisces energy, right? And it comes with confusion and overindulgence and cloudy thinking and illusion and delusion, and amongst the groups. And yeah, there's money involved, and they do probably have a nice little bit of money or access to it, and that's fine too. But this cycle of events that's taking place is what leads to a clear heartbreak right here. And Pisces, pay attention. So if you're on the wrong side of the moon, understand that be bold and make the first move means be bold and make the first move to do something different, to find balance, to do things in a balanced energy, so that you can bring about happiness and stability and comfort, right? Not the other way around. Because whoever this is right here, whatever they talking about, communicating their mentalities and things of that nature, they gonna hang themselves out there regardless in this Pisces energy. Anyway, right? And so let me see something else real quick, because I find it to be interesting. That's Aquarius energy, February 9th to the 8th. When you're looking at the Seven of Swords, right? The Ten of Coins, Virgo energy, September 12th to 22. Pisces, pay attention to your Virgo house regardless, like I said, right? And who else do I want to look at real quick? I don't know. I think I'll look at this good old Six of Wands energy. Do I want to see the Six of Wands? Do we need to see the Six of Wands? The Six of Wands don't really want to come up right now, huh? Which is very interesting. Okay, there you go. Six of Wands, Leo energy comes up right there. So, I just wanted to look at a couple of those to see what that was talking about. And then, quite naturally, we got Uranus up here, right? And so we got this Hangman that pops up over here, and that is also Pisces energy. So, yeah, this is for Pisces to pay attention to. today. And enjoy the last day of Pisces. I'll see you for the next go around, for the next segment of zodiac signs that's coming up. Smooches, deuces, be good, stay out of sneaky, conniving, backstabbing, self-sabotaging energy. Don't do foul stuff and say foul stuff amongst this group of individuals right here in the dark, because it will come out. Try to go for balance, making changes, making choices to push the energy of happiness, balance, regardless. Okay, stay out this lower frequency of not being able to obtain good health, wealth, faith, belief, all of that, all of this confusion and cloudiness, and yeah, stay out of that as much as humanly possible. See ya. Deuces.